Jason Schrier has come out and claimed that PlayStation is no longer going to release single player games on PC. Now, if this is true, this is going to be huge because I think this kind of sets a precedent as to what happens when a console manufacturer starts releasing games on PC. Technically, that can be revoked at any time. Because technically, if they're still producing gaming hardware, if they want to push the gaming hardware, all they have to do is be like, well, guess what? We're just not releasing on PC. Like, ever. Like, they can technically do that. They're not seeing huge numbers on PC. They're not, like, seeing people, like, pick up Horizon for $25. So it's just like, okay, buddy. We're just not going to release the game on Steam anymore. Again, it's very possible, this has done nothing but devalue their brand and cause people to clown on them. So, like, the PC experiment has failed. PlayStation, if they pull back from PC support, is going to be a huge, 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 huge deal. Because, first of all, let's be real. The best single-player games on PC right now are PlayStation exclusives. It's not because PlayStation exclusives are good or that they're memorable, but, like, they're better than anything available exclusively on PC, like there's nothing of that caliber being produced exclusively for PC. So PlayStation kind of releasing their games on PC is supposed to be like some huge like gotcha thing. It's supposed to be some big deal. It's supposed to be some like example, like it's supposed to be like the highest quality product you can get on PC when it comes to single player games. So, if PlayStation were to pull away from this and just be like, yeah, buy a console for our games, fag, that is going to be a huge blow against PC. Because what are you going to do? You can't pirate the games because that's illegal and there are no PS5 emulators anyway. Like, you can't really, like, go back, like, you can't beg them to come back because you've demonstrated that you're not supporting their games, like that it's not good for their business, that like, honestly, let's be real here. The PC gaming master race is like a giant smokescreen. Like there aren't that many fucking PC gamers. Like there are way more PlayStation owners out there. Like Sony would be better off like pushing their hardware. And I think if this is true, like that's probably what they realize, is that they're just better off pushing their hardware as opposed to like doing releases on PC. So if Sony pulls out from this and they start pushing their hardware again, like what exactly is PC left with? Like a bunch of third-party games that are also on PlayStation and Xbox? It's like, who are you trying to fool? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? What do you think is going to happen? Like, that's my question when I look at these situations, when I look at what these companies are doing, when I look at, like, the state of PC, I'm just kind of like, if the PlayStation exclusives leave, what are they going to have? Like, what are they going to come up with? And the simple fact of the matter is, it's going to be jack shit. Like, the simple fact of the matter is, PC is not capable of sustaining itself with its own ecosystem. Like, it is completely reliant on console games to be re-released on its platforms to get some support. Like, the only reason anybody bothers with PC gaming is for mods and for, like, piracy and for getting games on Steam sale. Like, it's not really a better experience when it comes to, like, playing the actual game as the developers experience. Like, at the absolute best, it's the exact same thing. At worst, you get like all these frame rate drops and all these issues. Monster Hunter Wilds has that weird like check that like drops the frames like extensively. Like and again, like it's very, very interesting to see like how often we've seen these developers like say they want to support PC. PC gamers celebrate it as like the end of console gaming. And then the reality sets in and the game just fails on PC and like the developer quietly goes back to making console games. Like we've seen this happen time and time again. I think Square Enix is trying to tell people that like Final Fantasy VII Remake 3 is going to be like developed with PC in mind. And it's giving me a lot of the same energies like when Capcom said the same thing about like Monster Hunter Wilds. That turned out to be a disaster. And nobody wants to bring that up. That turned out to be an epic fail on everyone's part. And it's just not something that anybody really talked about or cared for. Like, that's just that's just the reality of the situation. Is that like, um, the developer game devs are realizing that like there is no massive audience of people on Steam. Like everyone on there just buys games for cheap or plays like the same free to play slop like endlessly. Okay, there is no like massive untapped audience on PC, and I think developers are like finding that out the hard way. That there just is no audience on this platform, and I do think that's very prevalent by how like the biggest in the industry, Rockstar, approaches PC releases, in which they release on console first and then they do a PC release like a year later. Okay, that's always how they've done it. That's always been their thing, and the narrative is that like has always been like, well, thanks for beta testing, dummies. But the simple fact of the matter is, like, if PC was so great, if it was such a massively growing like audience, like wouldn't the PC be the priority as opposed to like the console devs? Like, wouldn't that be like the primary release? Like, and this would be like some lazy port, like they do for the iPad releases. Like, what we're seeing is just this isn't the case. Like, the simple fact of the matter is, like, games like Grand Theft Auto 6 prove that there is no audience for anything on PC. Like, there are just endless examples of this kind of thing happening. But um, the fact that a lot of the best developers, especially Nintendo, have never produced their games on PC really should be a good indication of just how irrelevant this ecosystem actually is and how it's never ever going to be competitive. If you have to bring piracy into the discussion to justify PC, you've already lost because nobody's making money on that. People aren't going to support it, and the companies are going to fight very, 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 very hard to prevent you from watching it, from doing that. Like, already we're kind of seeing like Nintendo Switch emulators getting taken down left and right, and it's only a matter of time until that gets grandfathered in, and like the Nintendo Switch will be a retro console that still has emulators being taken down because Nintendo is still selling those games. Like all the age-old copes, like, oh, I can't get a hold of this game in any other way. It's just not true anymore. We're seeing guys complaining about Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green getting re-released. I can just emulate that. Like, no, you can't. That's illegal. Like, they're taking down the ROM sites. Like, you can't just download Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green out legally. That's not something you can do. And people are like coping about this, they're seething about this, but like what you're seeing is like the slow, gradual downfall of the PC master race. Like, it's been in full swing for over a decade, and honestly, I think only became as prominent as it did due to YouTubers, like trying to gaslight you and that they're the same platform that they stream games on is somehow the best one to play games for. Like, without streamers, like the PC master race just kind of collapses. Like, that's just the reality of it. And that fact will become more and more apparent over time.